been tough sledding for my Supercoach team over the last few weeks. We pushed into 5,200 in like round 6, and every round since then has been backwards, unfortunately, and just on the back of a few missed calls at fullback, it seems, and captaincy there. So let's go through the buy, hold, sell for everyone here, and yeah, you can get a bit of a look at my side as well. 1,502 out to 11,276, and we used our final boost last week just to try and catch up, and yeah, unfortunately still fell behind, and it's just been the Ponga missteps, unfortunately, that have killed my side. And even this week just gone, I VC'd Ponga, and that stopped me from having Pappenhausen as captain, unfortunately, and then just lobbed in the Cleary 77 as skip, and yeah, missed out on 105 points. So it's enough to make ranks this week, that 105, but still wouldn't have been like a big push forward. So there's other problems in the side, and Drinkwater is that one especially as well. So Pappenhausen captain and have Drinkwater on the side, and there's almost 1,700, which is pretty crazy just in a couple of plays. But that is Supercoach in a nutshell. Now, with Ponga playing Parramatta this week, I'm definitely not going to be vice captaining him. I do hope he goes well, but that will not be happening again. That was a mistake. So do you hold or sell Ponga this week? I personally think you just have to roll with it one more week, see how he goes against Parramatta. He'll be fighting for a maroon spot. So yeah, I think that's where you're at with him. In terms of the two big dogs, it's Tedesco and Drinkwater that we're fighting for here, and both very expensive. 889 for Tedesco, 906 for Drinky. Drinky has the easier matchup this week, but then misses the following. I personally think I just have to bite the bullet with him and hold off until 13 when he comes up against the Tigers or something like that. So that's where I'd be personally looking at, and I'm going to suggest people do if you still don't own. What's he going to be owned by something crazy in the top teams, but Tedesco, yes, it's against the Dogs, but if he doesn't make Origin, which I think is, might be 50-50, then you're going to want him in round 12. And I feel like for myself, with some outs this week, like Greg Marzu, then I brought Best in last week for one of his lowest scores, as we do. He'll move back into the centres and will push Teddy into this side. That's kind of generally how I'm looking at it for now, because there's not a lot of other options, and we know that, if he's going to be there come round 12, we're going to want him anyway. And then Drinky can come in for Ponga, basically, would be my theory come round 13, or I'll remove Ponga next week. We'll see how that one plays out. Now, moving along to the centre wing. Let's get in and have a look at that one there. So Karaz, Garrick, Garrick I think comes into a really nice stretch soon. Farnworth people are going to want as well. Tamale comes up against an easier clash this week with the Titans, so we hold on to him. We play him this week, I think. Rob Toya coming off a massive score. Yes, he plays against the Dogs, but do you want to start him? I think, yeah, that's definitely an option as well. But if we are trading out, Billy Smith will just hold for now. I don't think we'll play him the way that last few weeks have gone, but Greg Marzu comes out at the side, and all of those guys, as I mentioned, Garrick becomes a really, really nice price soon, so have a look at him. Whether it's this week or the following weeks there, I think could be a really good shout for Rubes, especially in Supercoach. Now, Fletcher Sharp, still a good option. He's had really, really high attacking stats the last 3 weeks, and 88 average says that. So he'll continue to go up in price for a little bit. If you look at there, if I trade him in, the break even is sitting at an 8 this week. So a great spot after a couple of good weeks there. So he's definitely an easy one to target if you want to go there. Plays all the way through till 18. Moving down the line, there's not a lot, to be honest, at these price points. Jackson Purdue, of course, is sold in this week, and Gutho for some decent scores, of course. And now he's got the 7 jersey, so I'm interested to see how that one plays out. Will he be able to add to his attacking stats that have been so great for him in recently in the last month there? But center wing, outside of that, is there any cheapies that you could target? Look, there's not much in this section. When you're looking at the cheapies, the kind of cheapies at the moment are a couple of mid-rangers in front row forward with like Daniel Saifidi, Hamish Stewart. We have Hugo Savala, who could potentially be a downgrade option for myself from Nicholson to be able to get to Tedesco. See, they're just looking at last round's points of guys that have come out and scored well. You had guys up top here, Blaze Talangi missing this week, so you could have a look next week. Make sure you do, I think, get Lucas. He should be sweet. Not get 18th man. I heard the Bloke in the Bar boys talking about, him. They'd have him. A couple of those guys would have him as 18th man. So yeah. Other than that, he's a really good buy. Kiraz, Kale Iro, all really fun options there. Kale keeps getting those attacking stats. Selwyn Cobbo, probably in a void now. He's going up some cash there. And it's not, 72 is good, but nothing crazy. Dane Gagai is really cheap if you need a slightly cheaper guy at $5.39. And then down the line, there's not too much there at all. Bradman Best I picked up last week. He'll have up and down games. It looks like he will. So centre wing, top dogs there. Garrick, I think, will be great for the whole bye period. Farnworth, awesome. Kiraz might make Origin. Yeah, Tamale, Toya, all holds, and that's fine. Now, 5/8, we've got King Tonga as the cheapie of the week, let's say. When we say he's the cheapie of the week, he's the cheapest, and he will probably make the most money, but his good score in his first game will come out of the rolling average after this price rise. So just be aware of that. He does go into a bye, so does he help you in round 12 as well? I know that with my couple of injuries, Nicholson and Marzu, that hurts my round 12 numbers a little bit. But hey, we'll build to that over this week and next. And we do get the one extra trade if we want to use it next week there. But Lycan, definitely a guy that you could downgrade to. Guys like Hugo Savala are solid as well if you want to jump to those guys up in the second row forward. So looking along the line there at 5/8, Campbell I didn't mention in fullback. I think he's more important in this 5/8 slot, and you could jump on him this week. You could also wait. He lost a bit of cash. Break even's nothing, nothing too low, which means that round 13 could be a really solid time to jump on JC and pair him with like a Munster or something like that who went really, really well last week. Outside of that, no one really I would target. Metcalf done a really solid job. He's made enough cash now that he probably can't be a buy. In the half slot, do you want to sell or hold Cleary? I suppose if you are selling him, Fogarty's doing really well overall, averaging 70. So he will do a job. Will it be top tier? I'm not sure. But Hines is a little bit cheaper, putting on assists right now and doing some good work there. Isaiah Katoa not going as well as Fogarty assist-wise and with the goals as well. But Jerome Hughes is 633. He could be a pick for you. You could also wait until round 13 as well with him. If you trade Cleary to him now, you do get that one extra week. Do you want Cleary in 13, 14? Hopefully as a backup. They're probably the things to have in your brain. And that's it for the half slot. For our second row forwards, as I mentioned, there's a couple of guys of interest. So Savala is one of them. I hope he's not a crazy price. Yeah, 290k. That's where the cash down works pretty well for him. The 3-round average of 49. A lot of his work is in base stats, and he probably only has a few more weeks to go. But that dual position is fun as well. Like you could buy him in second row forward, and then if you want to buy someone next week and you can move him to half to remove Cleary because he's going to miss a bunch, and buy another second row forward or whatever you want to do. Get a front row forward. You can move things around, selling Cleary and bringing in Hugo into that second row forward or into that halfback spot next week. So a few little options. Lycan's the easy one. In 5/8, I'm trying to work out myself. Do I go Dewey to Lycan? I think I could just get up to Tedesco from Marzu. Or do I trade the guy that's actually injured in Nicholson and go down to Savala and get a couple of good weeks out of him? Hopefully some decent weeks out of him. Jag and attacking Satosu in a couple of weeks or next week when we need him in round 12 and go from there. So that's one of the options that you could have a look at in the 2RF. Aaron Clark's crushed in it. He's very expensive now though. So can you expect a 92 3-round average? You can probably expect a mid-60s from him. With Fish back, they lose Barnett, he could continue to score well. So definitely a few things to think about with Clark. Just to me, probably just a hold till around 15 and then you'd sell from there with him missing 15 and 18. We'll do a good job around that, but is he like a long-term keeper or is he just having a really good month stretch? And for fantasy, he's awesome because the base stats are what we want there. But for Supercoach, it's he's getting the odd try assist as well, which isn't getting in fantasy. So maybe there's a few lucky ones in there at the moment where he's, ball playing in the centre. Now, Lucas, really good for second row forward. If you haven't jumped on yet, he's still, 27%. He's getting there. Now, Egan coming off a good score. I don't know if you buy him now. He's up 309k. It's 508. He's probably, helpful in round 15 and the like, but is that someone you want? Hosking had a really good start. Better start in fantasy, I would say there. Given he got 57 and 64, and then his first try on the weekend got him the 80. So if he's just going to go through base, then you could probably expect that mid 50s to 60. And for him at 501, it's fine. Could score against the Titans this week as well, but no must-have by any stretch. We know Nikora has really good pedigree as well. A better score from him with the line break only on the weekend. And at 542k is fun, but he's also against the Storm this week. Colin Matangi at 568. We know he was great through the middle last year. If he continues this and running for 200 meters like he has been, then you should continue to see 60s and 70s from him with any attacking stats, happy days. So Keon, really, really solid to look at there this week. If you don't need another round 12 guy, then he works well. He got Piakura at 303k back to the bench, but he's been doing that on the bench and then gets pushed into the starting side. So he's one to have a look at if you want to go down the Piakura train. And then Valmarga as well, coming off of 55, looking really good in those minutes, but Fish does return. So how does that impact things? Olakau'atu as well comes into a nice stretch of games, averaging 69.8 for the season. The same the last 3 rounds, so that up and down type of nature. Really big game into a lower game. He's at an okay price there for you if you are interested there as well. Guys like Hubner, hold or sell is fine. Seyfarth, similar situation with him as well. So Kaivis Ball, if you jumped on, hopefully a better game from him this week. All right, that's second row forward. Front row forwards is basically the couple of guys I did mention. I think you do hold all these guys, Haas, May, and Tino. Tino could be moved to second row forward to accommodate a Tapane or an AFB. Those two guys are the tops in the position if you want a really good score for round 12, with Adam averaging almost 70, Tapane at 79 with his attack and his base stats that he's been throwing out. So I personally would select both of those guys just ahead of Aaron Clark there. Now, Couchman at 572, unfortunately lost 55k there. I think for Supercoach, he's more of a sell than for fantasy. Just with he's good. 3-round average of 46 now. He can get the 50s pretty comfortably and easily as well. So guys like him could be sold. And you can get, you can move things around and almost get whoever you want, which is good. You got Barnett there, who might make Origin. If you bought Leo Thompson, it's a tough one. Take the 1 week loss and move on from there. And then we've got the guys that I did mention earlier in Saifidi, Mr. Jacob Saifidi. He got a 72 on the weekend, only made a little bit of cash, and now has a really low break even as well of -9. So he's someone that if you can get to him, then and that helps you move to someone else in a higher bracket. It doesn't help me, unfortunately, from Nicholson, but it might be good with you. But Tarpany doing great work. I'd look to him if you want some more stability over the big buyers, especially around 12, and he plays 18 as well. Hamish Stewart at 355 there, got a 48. I think he'll be in the 40s generally, but then scored a try a couple of weeks ago to help him out. So all solid there on that one. Pacifica Tonga played the 1 game. Have a look at him next week or this week, and then potentially have a look for round 13. That's a front row forward, and then still a very, very similar situation. If you're sitting there with Starling and Sanders Smith, like myself, you hold on steady with them. Riley Smith came out and got 60 on the weekend, so making some more cash. Doing a good job. Can you get him? Yes. It's no slam dunk by any stretch, though. Blake Brayley picked up 63. He'll be fine. Reed, if he does make Origin, is very, very cheap, but how good is he? How good is he overall? Wade Egan, 57. McInnes, 57. You know what you're getting from Cam. And then Egan's going to be a little bit up and down, whereas Cam's going to be a little bit more stable with that, averaging 62. Price just under 600k. He'll be fine. You could look at it next week if we do get an injury or something like that, but if you're in that similar boat to myself, then pretty easy just to hold those guys. And now moving into next week, I'm sitting with, I think it was 11 or 12, Starling, Smith, Lucas 3, Nicholson out, sadly. Hey, Thomas Cantor might play next week. We'll see how that goes off the bench. But 3 there. Nico Hines 4. Then we've got, hopefully, Karaz Funwa 6, Garrick 7, Tamale 8, Toya 9, Billy Smith 10, and then Bradman Best 11. So, if depends how trades go this week. Savala gets me another number. Lycan doesn't. If I bring in Teddy, he should be sweet to go. Could lose Teddy and Karaz. That would be tough. But, if you can get, I think, 14 or 15 for round 12, you can, lose those couple of low scores or one low score. Very similarly to what it's like in normal weeks. And also just, have a look to round 13 as well, because that's where you have to get the 17 on the park with 3 teams on the bye. So just be aware of that. But we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks so much for jumping in to our buy, hold, sell for Supercoach round 11. Hopefully it's a bounce back week for myself. Let me know where you're at, what trades you're making, and hopefully we can keep going in the right direction after Ponga just keeps failing us. So thanks, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Captain, we're going to get it right this week.